television for 3 years in a row. Cavaretta's Deli in Canoga Park, the same owner, 28 years. Go to cavarettasdeli.com.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the PM Show with Larry and Nancy Manetti. Larry is on assignment.
He is in Hawaii.
Coming up in just a minute, guys, the movie report with our own Will Link, who's been sitting instead, waiting like with bated breath for this movie report this week.
I always am.
Absolutely. He's charged. Absolutely. Yeah. On the line right now, we do have Dr. Carl Petrasso, and I didn't want to let you go, Dr. Carl, without finishing up. We were talking with Greg from Las Vegas, who had kind of a dark and dreary dream about his home. It looked abandoned. It looked kind of gray, like one of those scary movies. And Dr. Carl, you're telling him to basically focus less on the feelings of loneliness and more on fulfilling his day-to-day life in the now.
That's right. And just to wrap that up very quickly, sometimes what happens is we get setbacks, we get stressed, things don't go the way we want them to go, so we give up a little bit on our own goals, our own desires, our own needs. And it's important not to do that, but to renew ourselves and to keep working at the things that are meaningful to us.
Dr. Carl, can you give everybody your web address again and how to get your wonderful book?
Yes, it's www.drcarl.net.
Oh, great.
.net, I'm sorry.
And the book is Dream for Success.
Yes.
Absolutely. And, of course, you can catch Dr. Carl live on at www.kfyi.com. And it was 8 p.m. And which day are we looking at that, Dr. Carl?
Coming Wednesday.
This coming Wednesday. We'll be sure to check it out. And, of course, you taking live calls as well, more interpretation.
Absolutely.
Guys,
yes.
Be sure to check it out. If you couldn't get on the air today, be sure to give Dr. Carl a call on his live broadcast at kfyi.com, 8 p.m. Pacific time this Wednesday. Dr. Carl, thank you so much for taking time to join us again, buddy.
Larry, my regards and my love to everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Carl. I surely will.
All right. And guess what, guys?
What?
It's time once again.
No. Woo!
Time now
Woo!
for the PM Show's movie report with our own Oscar-nominated.
It's true. I'm nominated for 11 Academy Awards.
Will Link. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm the Lincoln of the critics,
Lincoln,
I
that's
guess.
right.
I'm nominated for the most Oscars.
You got to grow a beard then.
I will, and I'm gonna wear. Next time, I'm gonna come in with a big.
a high
what are those
hat.
hats?
Yeah.
Stovetop hats.
Stovetop hats. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I wanted to catch us up. Last week we took a little break and talked about Arnold Schwarzenegger. I wanted to catch us up on some more of the Oscar-nominated films
highbrow
that we
films,
haven't
yeah.
gotten to yet.
Good.
And one of them, in the Best Actress category, Naomi Watts is nominated this year for The Impossible.
Right.
Have you seen The Impossible, Nancy?
No, it's about the tsunami, though.
It's about the tsunami. It's a true story, an impossibly true story about the 2004 tsunami and this family that was visiting at the time on their holiday. And the tsunami occurred, and they all got separate. It's a miracle they all lived.
And this is all based
with.
on a true story.
True story. They all got separated, and the movie is basically about how they find each other. And it's a married couple played by Naomi Watts and Ewan McGregor, and both of whom are phenomenal in this film. Naomi Watts since Mulholland Drive, she's been one of my favorite actresses.
Oh, she's fantastic. Yeah.
And she gives a great performance in this because it's not just an emotion; it's such a physical performance. When the tsunami occurred, a few years back, Clint Eastwood did this movie Hereafter, and it opens with a terrific tsunami sequence. And I said, "You're not going to get better than that." This film tops it,
really,
and then some. Yeah, it's. Unbelievable. One of the things that's so terrifying about the tsunami in it is the sounds, just the sounds of the water and everything hitting, and she's getting battered around, her and her young son. And then the water recedes, and they got to, find where they are and how they got to get to a hospital and how they have to find Ewan McGregor, who they assume is dead, but, they are holding out hope. And I think it's a really powerful film. It's an uplifting film, too, because you see how they get through this tragedy. And the other great performance is this kid, Tom Holland, who plays the oldest of the 3 sons. He's really phenomenal. He's teamed with Naomi Watts for most of the film. And he's the one who's like with the hospital with her, and he's looking. And he kind of becomes this figure who starts helping other people in the hospital find loved ones and stuff. And it's emotional. It's just a really well done film. And Naomi Watts, she's terrific in it, well deserving of the nomination. She probably won't win, but she's well deserving of a nomination.
She's got a lot of competition.
A lot, honestly.
Yeah.
The Best Actress category this year
It's tough.
I think in upcoming reports I want to get into it more, but it's a tough category.
Who are
this
the
year.
other nods this year at Best Actress?
The other nominees are Jessica Chastain for Zero Dark 30.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Jennifer Lawrence for Silver Linings Playbook.
Another tough one.
Quvenzhané Wallis, the 6-year-old girl. She's 9 now, but she was 6 when she made the movie for Beasts of the Southern Wild.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And actually, the other one I wanted to talk about today, Emmanuelle Riva, who's in Amour. And Amour is one of these films that's been getting a lot of, it got a bunch of surprise Oscar nominations, a foreign film. It's a brilliantly made film. It's a difficult watch because it's about growing old. It's about, it's one of the truest films I've ever seen about the idea of aging and what happens to you as like a couple. And it's about this elderly couple who she ends up having a stroke and the husband has to care for her. It's a very powerful film, and she's brilliant in that too.
It's the way you're staging it. It kind of reminds me of My Life with Michael Keaton. Kind of this long, expose into this one person's life of
and how you have to care for someone, and how you have it. That
pulls those heartstrings.
It pulls those, but it pulls no punches. Let's put it that way,
guys.
You didn't mention Anne Hathaway.
We'll come back and find out right after this.